filetti.
Ok, grazie. Prossima. Yeah, I arrived to my car. I did test a lot of fragrances today again, mostly at La Rinascente, but I went also to Sephora as you saw. I got something from Bvlgari, which is something new to me because I was never a fan of Bvlgari. So if you want to know what I bought, then stay to the end of this video. I will tell you all about it. Now I will just return home and eat something. I did stop by Luini and got me 2 Panzerotto. So if you don't know what Panzerotto is, it's like a pizza dough with different stuffing inside and is fried, so quite heavy. And Luini is one of the most famous one in Milano. So if you are not Italian and once went to Milano, make sure to stop by Luini and taste the Panzerotto. Now that I'm thinking about it, why didn't I film that part? I don't know. But yeah, I am new to vlogging, so sorry. But anyway, so I'm going to eat my Panzerotto and then I will tell you all about the fragrances that I smelled and do a little unboxing with you guys of the new fragrance that I bought from Bvlgari. Bye for now. Okay, I just ate my Panzerotto and it was delicious. And now let's talk about fragrances. So where should we start? Let's start by Armani Prive. Yes, again, I went to the Armani counter and asked about Cypress Pantelleria. It's not available. The lady told me it will be available like end of the month. So I couldn't smell that, but I did test Musc Shamal on my skin. And if you watched my previous shopping with me in Milano, you will know that I tested it on paper and I didn't like it. And when I returned home, I was quite impressed. So this time I went and I tested it on my skin and the same happened. Opening, I'm not a fan. It's a little bit aldehydic, musky, very clean fragrance. The opening is not bad, but it's not very special to me. The dry down, however, which comes like after an hour or something, it's very cozy, warm, musk amber fragrance. And the amber here is, as I said before, is very similar to the amber in Ambre Eccentrico. Not the fragrances are similar. I mean the amber is very similar to the amber in Ambre Eccentrico. This is what I mean. Still very clean, but it became more of a winter scent. So for me, this is like a perfect winter fragrance when you want to feel cozy and warm. But keep in mind that this is a skin scent. So this doesn't project at all. It has a good longevity, but there is no sillage here. So maybe if you overspray, you will get a little bit of sillage, but this is not your heavy amber fragrance at all. It gives me the feeling when you are like wearing a cashmere sweater and you are, or a cashmere blanket, something fluffy and warm, and you are sitting warm and cozy on your sofa, chilling out and watching something on the TV. This is the vibes that this fragrance gives me. If I knew about it before, like testing it, like and leaving it to the dry down, I think I would have preferred this one to Ambre Eccentrico. Not so sure, but I think so, yes. So yeah, that was Musc Shamal. Then the lady made me test 2 fragrances that I never heard anyone talking about. So what I understood is that Giorgio Armani comes each year with the fashion week with two fragrances or two limited edition bottles, not of a fragrance that is already in his collection, but a fragrance that is only available for that year. So she showed me two bottles. One was Ikat Bleu and Ikat Rouge. I hope I'm pronouncing them correctly. One was a little bit floral, spicy kind of a fragrance, which I didn't like, so I don't remember so much, so don't quote me on that. The other one, which I think it's Ikat Rouge, is this beautiful spicy amber. It's a very nice fragrance, nothing to do with amber eccentrico. However, it doesn't last very long, so I tested it also on my skin and it's completely gone now. It's not there. And if I remember correctly, the bottle was 600 euros, which is like insane to charge that kind of money for that performance, to be honest. So yeah, of course I like it. It will definitely not go on my wish list. Then I went to Lancôme again and tested Roses Berberanza. So again, if you didn't watch my previous video, I will leave it linked up here. Last time I tested Roses Berberanza on paper and Parfait de Rose on my skin. And Parfait de Rose was very, very sweet, jammy fragrance that I'm not a fan of. I don't like these kind of fragrance at all. And Roses Berberanza had this very boozy opening, unique but strange, you know, unique in a strange kind of a way. It made me think of like a rose alcoholic beverage, something like that. So this time I tested it on my skin, same opening, everything. Dry down, however, becomes this quite sweet rose, and with the boozy touch that remained for about 3 hours. Now I don't get it. It's mostly a sweet rose with a touch of powderiness now. Before I didn't get this powdery touch, now I do. So I would say it's quite nice for someone who loves sweet rose, but it's again not my vibe, so a no for me. Then I went to Acqua di Parma, and first of all I went to test a fragrance that one of my lovely subscribers asked me about, and I'm talking about Magnolia Nobile. And I am pleasantly surprised by it. So I tested the Nobile line quite a long time ago, so I don't remember at all how they smelled. So the opening is beautiful in this fragrance, with like the signature opening of Acqua di Parma. So quite a lot of citruses, but you can smell the flowers like in the background. So a really, really pleasant opening. And the citruses are not too zesty, not too in your face, at least in my opinion. So they are just balanced in the right amount. Of course, the citruses don't remain long, although some citrusy note remained for quite a while, for about 2 hours. This hint of citruses mixed with the floral notes. So the floral notes come out. The dry down is where I am a little bit on the fence about this fragrance. Dry down, you can really smell the patchouli and sandalwood. So definitely this is a fragrance for someone who likes like patchouli sandalwood kind of a base. As I said, it remains fresh for quite a while, so definitely for spring, summertime. It's quite an elegant, classy floral. It smells a little bit mature, not in a vintage kind of a way. When I smelled it, I imagined someone over 30 who dresses and behaves like a lady. This is the vibe that this fragrance gives me. And what I was mostly surprised by is the lasting power. So this fragrance lasts, especially comparing with the Acqua di Parma Blue Mediterraneo line, this remained for quite a while. I have it now for almost 5 hours and I can still smell it. So that was Magnolia Nobile. Then I was really curious about the new flanker from Bergamotto di Calabria, La Spugnatura. Bergamotto di Calabria is one of their Blue Mediterranean line. And recently they came out with a limited edition flanker called La Spugnatura. So what does that mean? La Spugnatura comes from spugna, which is like a sponge. So in this fragrance, they are using as a traditional method of taking the bergamot oil. So they take the bergamot, which looks very much like a lemon but green. They cut it and then they have like marine sponge and they press hard on the sponge. So the bergamot in Bergamotto di Calabria, La Spugnatura, is extracted in this way. And I was curious, does it smell different to the original one? And let me tell you, yes. The opening of the new flanker is quite potent, really powerful and zesty, a little bit bitterish. So I was almost sure that there is neroli in it, but there is no neroli in the listed notes. So I don't know from where it comes exactly. So maybe it's from the bergamot extracted in that way or from another note. I am not sure, but it has some bitterness to it. This is why for me, this is more of a masculine fragrance. The original Bergamotto di Calabria has also like a very fresh, nice opening, but if you compare these side by side, there is a very distinct quality shift between them. You can really smell it. The new one, it's long lasting and projecting. If you compare it with the original one, it has a little bit of sharpness to it, so it has edges, while the original one, in my opinion, is quite unisex. It's softer, airier, more rounded, I would say, but not long lasting and doesn't project much. So I don't think I will buy the Spugnatura, although the bottle is beautiful. The bottle, by the way, is made of porcelain, it's not made of glass, so I really, really like it. But it's too masculine for me, and my husband doesn't like these kind of fragrances. Although I like it, I think I will not buy it. I also tested Vanilla from Acqua di Parma. This is from the line that comes in a black bottle. I don't remember the name. And that was again a fragrance that I tested on paper and hated, and didn't like at all. But when I returned home and smelled it, I was blown away, because the opening has nothing to do with the dry down with that fragrance. If you know it, if you ever tested it and said to yourself, what is going on, this smells really bad, welcome to the club. This fragrance is amazing, but you have to wait for the dry down. The opening, to be honest, is quite off-putting, really strange. I can't even find words for it. The dry down, however, is a beautiful vanilla powdery scent. So I think there is heliotrope, if I'm not mistaken, and this is what gives like this powderiness to it. Is not so long lasting, but so I would say it's an average with a moderate sillage. Although I really, really like it, but I want to check more vanilla fragrances that are similar to this one, because it's quite pricey. So I just want to be sure I am choosing correctly. So definitely this is on my maybe list. Then I was approached by the saleswoman from Bvlgari, and I'm not a big fan of Bvlgari fragrances. So Bvlgari came out with a new line called Allegra. And they came out with the new idea, at least for Western perfumery, to create fragrances for layering. So you have here, I have here all the samples. So here you have 5 fragrances and 5 magnifying ones. What does that mean? So how she explained it to me, magnifying are like an X-ray. So they are used as a base for the other fragrances, and you can in this way create your own unique fragrance, if you will. So that will remind you a little bit of Kayali, but of course Bvlgari did it in a different way, let's say. I didn't smell all of them. She made me smell 2 which I didn't like so much. This is Riva Solare, and this is Fantasia Veneta. I'm not a fan of either, but then she made me smell one of the magnifying group, and that was Bergamotto, and I like it. So the magnifying, they have rose, patchouli, vanilla, musk, and bergamotto. So I walked away, I went to Sephora, and then I returned and bought it. It's quite expensive for a 40 ml, to be honest. But first of all, I really liked the bergamotto here. So I tested a lot of like these summer bergamotto based fragrances. You have Acqua Liguria has one, Acqua di Parma has one, Atelier Cologne has one. Who else? Jo Malone has one. You have quite a selection. They are all very nice, and I almost like all of them, but I really like this one. So let's do an unboxing together. Oh, how nice. Yeah. Here it is. I will just spray it on my hand. Yeah, the opening is quite bergamotti. I just invented a new word, I think. Very lovely, but it settles down very quickly to a kind of a sweetish bergamot. Yeah, see? Already some sweetness is coming out. So definitely, if you don't like all the fragrances that I talked about, they were a little bit too fresh, too masculine for you, check this one out. Is it worth the money? I have to confess, I don't think so much. It's definitely overpriced. And you would ask me again, why did you buy it and you find it overpriced? Because I like it and because I got a lot of stuff with it. So I got from Bvlgari this nice, what is it called? This pouch? I don't know. Which I actually like. So this is, I think, the first one I get as a gift, which I like. I got all the samples from the new line and extra. So I definitely have the chance to play with them. And I got a mini of Splendida Tuberose Mystique, which is quite a nice surprise to me because I was thinking about that fragrance and I want to sample it 2 days ago. I wanted to test it when I went to Sephora and I forgot. And surprise, surprise, the miniature I got was Tuberose Mystique, which I will test in the next days and see if I like it. So as you can see, I can really test the Allegra line from Bvlgari, and that is what I will do the next day. So definitely stay tuned for a full review of the Allegra line from Bvlgari. So definitely subscribe and hit also the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload a new video. So that was everything I tested today. I hope you liked this video and I hope it was helpful. Please tell me in the comments down below if you like these kind of videos and should I do more of them. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Ciao!